Otto! He's Otto! I love Otto.
So, after taking a break from the Minions, what was like the most exciting thing for you to like get back and work on the story?
Well, what got me back is the idea that I could have the whole story happen during the 20s in Hollywood, and images in my head started popping, and it had mostly had to do with the sets, with the everything that happened then, with all the directors that were fleeing Nazi Germany to Hollywood, and I felt that it was a great background for a story, for the Minions to integrate the story that way.
And are there any aspects of like the Minions' history, culture, evolution that like audience haven't yet seen, but you would like to like just explore more in the future?
Well, yeah, it feels like it's super vast, because what's happening with the Minions is that, you know, the first movie was about the 60s in England, and so that brought on a whole lot of visual things, and then the second movie was about, like, you know, San Francisco in the 70s. This one is the 20s in Hollywood, America, and it feels like we can still explore time periods and countries like Japan, or, you know, countries like that we still haven't done. And that's the reason why also I was excited in doing this, is because we're introducing new characters with James, Henry, and Ed. And I thought that getting the audience used to not seeing maybe characters that they like, but meeting other ones, that doesn't mean we won't make, like in the future, like any more movies with any of the characters we've used. But it's nice to go away from them, meet other Minions, and then find them again maybe in the later movies. And that's sort of the plan that we have.
Oh, yeah. So the Minions, like, they mess up constantly. They kind of like get thrown out by the masters, but yet they always remain like optimistic. Do you think this is like part of why the audience connects them so much, because they, even though like things aren't always perfect, they just keep on going, like kind of like in a relatable sense?
Yeah, Minions are very positive creatures, but they have their human flaws, I would say. Like, some of them are jealous, but like in this movie, for example, it's the first time that I really wanted to feel that those two guys, Henry and James, were friends. And so what do friends do? I'm getting old and I have friends, but I don't know what it means to be friends, besides speaking, you know, politics. But when you're kids, it's actually all about like the games you play or the stuff you collect, and, you know, and the stuff you like and dislike, and you have this in common. And so it was cool also for this movie to sort of discover how friendship could be illustrated in the Minion world.
So you've voiced hundreds of Minions. Do you have like a favorite, and why?
I have a favorite, but I don't think it's anyone's favorite. In the second movie, there is a Minion called oh God. Oh damn! I just I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Well, I'll invent another one then. Oh Jesus! I loved voicing him because, well, I gotta remember his name. Oh well. Anyways, no, the one that I like voicing is Bob, because he's small and innocent, and I like playing the naive aspect of it and making him look cute. So.
Yeah. And if there was any of the Minions you could spend like a day with in real life, who would you choose, and what would you guys do?
I don't know. Well, I think I'd be kind of friends with Stuart from the first movie. Yeah. Well, for the first two movies, just because the way we sort of conceived the three characters of those movies, where Bob was the small one, Kevin was the big brother, and Stuart was the one that didn't care about anything. So I kind of like that one, because it's sort of is a little bit like me, I guess.
So as someone who grew up with like Despicable Me, I really loved seeing Gru in the credits of the movie, like in the end. Is that like some sort of hint that there's more to come with Gru's story, or is it more of like a little like goodie for the fans?
No. The ending, I mean, from the start we knew that we wanted end credit things happening, and we didn't know what shape but we didn't know if we wanted monsters or our minions, like Henry, James, and Ed. But so it came late in the day that I can't remember whose idea it was, but we started having this idea of like, oh, maybe minions should find the book, but later minions, and or random minions. And the idea at some point we said like, well, why would it be random minions? Maybe it's got to be the minions that we know, and maybe the minions that were depicted in the first two movies, and it all sort of stuck together and said like, oh, well, there we go. Maybe maybe at some point we will make a movie with all the known minions that we've depicted in all our movies. I keep thinking about the guy whose name I can't remember. He's the guy with the braces in the second one. Otto! He's Otto! I love Otto because he's got braces on and he speaks a little like this. And he speaks. He's non-stop talker. And I remember when I voiced Otto for the second movie, at some point there's a flashback where he tells a story about like, because he comes back, but he's supposed to have this object of value, but he comes back with a pet rock, and I think Gru asked him, but what did you do with that thing? And he tells the story in flashback, and he talks, and then I did this, and then I made this, and then I saw a butterfly fly by, and so he's really talkative minion, and I love.
That's adorable though, so I get that.
Yeah, he's just a guy who's you're asking him about the weather, and all of a sudden he speaks about the world, the last book he read, blah, blah, and so. Yeah.
One thing about minions is we know they had like dozens of masters, but they seem like very notably devoted to Gru. Have you considered like how this story would continue like when his eventually ends? Because they usually just move on, but they seem like they're like his babies, and they're so close.
No, yeah, I don't think there will be anyone after Gru.
But what do they do? Like, do you just like move around?
I don't know.
Film more movies? What do they do?
That's the reason why we created also the Minions sort of a franchise on the side. Is that because what's nice about the Minions movie is that we can do just about anything. If we have an idea about initially the idea that I had for was a short film was for the movie to have as a central character hearing impaired minion like Ed, and I wanted him to be like the central character. And then I realized that it would be super complicated because it's already asking a lot to the audience to stay with characters that they don't understand or that they understand, but then it's not really the words. So I'm asking for the audience to keep focus on what's happening. Otherwise, they're not helped by what the minions are saying because I talk gibberish, right? Yeah. So they have to listen to the little melody to know that, oh, he's asking that guy a question and that guy is not understanding the question, and so he's insulting him. And so all that, like there's this scene in this new movie where just before the minions split up, there is a big argument. Like one minion says, no, we gotta help James make a movie. And the other minion called Dick says, no, the minions are made to pursue like the evilest master, so we need to go find that evil master. And so they split up. But in the movie, in the argument, there's no English spoken or German spoken that says like, oh, this guy thinks this and this guy thinks that. So we had to find like little words and in the acting and the melody to understand like, oh, okay, this guy wants to make a movie and stay here, and this guy doesn't want to make a movie, find a big boss and leave. And so it's complicated, like to ask for an audience to stay 5 minutes focused on something that hopefully they'll understand, but it's asking a lot. So
perfect. Thank you so much. Time's up.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It was nice talking to you, though.